Merry Christmas, guys. It is now past Christmas. This is episode 43, and it is my season 2 finale. And I wouldn't want anybody else to finish off season 2 and 2021 other than this man right here. This man right here, Payam Heiraty, one of my closest friends, and literally my oldest friend to date. The only one that's older is his older brother. other than that, we literally entered this. We left Iran together and went through Pakistan together, entered the US together, grew up becoming brainwashed Washington football team fans, and thanks to our uncle. And now we are finally, recovering because they've won a few games and we don't know what to do because we don't know how to deal with winning. Payam, what's up, dude?
Not much, man. How you doing, bud? Long time no see.
Tell me about it. This man is getting married. Everyone cheer for him. Yeah, man, that's awesome, dude. Congrats. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of, I think, 5 months or so from now.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
And yesterday was your birthday, man. So happy belated birthday to you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. You're getting older, but I'll always be older.
Yeah.
Dude,
I feel old.
You're not old, man. You're a teddy bear that I love, and you're near and dear to my heart, always have been, and you've always been a sweetheart. And that's not an understatement or an overstatement. It's literally the truth. And yeah, dude. And we both are December babies. However, you're not a Sagittarius, right? I don't know when it cuts off.
No, Capricorn.
Yeah, you're a Capricorn.
Yeah.
That's why you're nicer than me. I got stuck in the Sagittarius side.
Oh, that's a lie. You're nice too. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just messing with you, man. Dude, so yeah, man, how does it feel, man? Are you nervous at all, or you ready to get, you literally waited, you were the most patient out of all of us boys. You took your time, and good thing that you did, because it looks like you found an angel, literally.
Angela.
Yeah.
No, that was one of my only things. I was always too picky, which is probably not a good thing. So, but no, she's awesome. Not nervous, not anxious, none of that stuff. Is just happy, ready to. Yeah, we're not doing it the smart way, in the sense like we're changing jobs too. We're moving to a different area. We're doing a whole lot of different stuff all at once. So it's a lot all at once, and wasn't planned that way. We just random things came about that a really good job opportunity came that's closer to family. So I figured, yeah, let's at least kind of go. But yeah, all in all, just a lot of changes. But it's good, man.
Change is good, man. Change is great. And usually when change happens, it all happens. It feels like a storm, but you'll come through it, man. And I know you're in the middle of moving, so I appreciate you taking the time to sit with me for 25 minutes to talk about. Yeah, man. Well, so you guys are going to be what, like an hour away from Maryland?
Well, depends where in Maryland. So we'll be about like an hour away from where like I grew up, or where we grew up, around like Rockville, Gaithersburg area. But it's gonna be good in that sense that from where we live, it's gonna be about an hour away from Baltimore, an hour and like 10 minutes away from like DC. So we're close enough to whatever we need to be, but still kind of got that.
You got the distance so that you can have privacy. I get it.
Yeah, even that, it's more so for the job. I had to be closer to there because I have to be close enough to the hospital. So that was the biggest factor, that I had to be within 30 minutes from the hospital. So
this man Payam is the biggest success story out of Watkinsville High School. We went to the same high school.
The case. That should not be the case.
It's I hate to admit it, man. I think you're probably one of 2 doctors that came out of there. So, but
I haven't visited back, but like some of the other people that I've kept on, they said it got really rough there for some.
Yeah.
I haven't drinking. Have you? Or
dude, I heard the same thing. And also, how much rougher could it have gone? Because it was pretty shitty when we were there. So I don't know how much worse it could get. But yeah, I've heard that whole place has gone run down, unfortunately. But yeah, man. Yeah, Payam and I, we have a lot of memories from that school and even before that. But high school was fun, dude. We were like, the wrestling days was hilarious. Like so to kind of recap for everyone, Payam and I went to Watkins Mill High School. It's a school in Germantown area of Maryland. And then his older brother Puya, he came to Watkins Mill for one day. This kind of just to illustrate how great Watkins Mill High School was. So in the middle of high school for Puya, because he was going to Gaithersburg High School at the time, and then
he was Magruder. He was my.
Magruder. He was going to Magruder. He went to Gaithersburg Middle School. Then he went to Magruder High School, and then you guys moved, and so he was like, I think, a junior at the time or something like that. And then
I think he was a senior. That's why he just wanted to stay with his school for graduation. Yeah. So
I literally had no clue. So we Puya, Payam, and a few other of our family members would always hang out after school or on weekends, and we were always at each other's houses. Anyway, so I have no clue. I show up to school. I literally walk into the front of our school, and you remember this. There was the double doors, right? And then you walked in, and then there's the stairs, and then I just see Puya's freaking tall ass coming from the left side. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing in my school? And he's like, and you were, I think, like not yet in that school yet. I think
I was in that school, because I think I was in 8th grade. So
yeah.
You were there, and then the next year I came, but he was already gone. So
right. So it made sense for you because you started fresh from freshman year over there. Yeah. So I see Puya walk in from my left, and he goes, I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing here? He's like, don't worry, I'm not coming back. and he just straight up like it's like that one episode where the grandpa in The Simpsons walks in and walks out. It was literally that. It was hilarious, dude. Anyway, and that was the story. And then he went back to Magruder, and all like you, me, and you came to our school eventually, Watkins Mill, and then we all joined the wrestling team, and then Puya was on the wrestling team at Magruder High, which was a rival. But the funny part is, like, we all were horrible. Only Payam was actually pretty good. And like he was good in football and wrestling. And like the rest of us were just basically posing because we just wanted to hang out at tournaments. And my cousin Saba was part of this too. So like we would all, so Saba and Puya went to Magruder, and Payam and I would go to Watkins Mill, and then we'd always like plan it out. We're like, oh dude, there's a wrestling tournament, we should all go so that we can like get
schools like sucks at those years too, so it wasn't like
I know, dude, it was
for
so
the
bad.
top spot. It was like competing for middle of the pack if you could. So
we would always get creamed by Damascus High School because those guys like literally were like a cult that like they like all this
still are. They're still good.
They're hella good. They would shave their heads. The entire team religiously shaved their heads because it was like protocol. Like I think they had one girl on their team and she shaved her head. It was like they were serious, man. And that girl whooped like the same weight class on art school. Remember that dude? He was like, he'd never shower after the match. Freaking disgusting. Oh my God, dude. And then so it was basically more for fun because we just get together, and then at these tournaments we'd all like freaking get eliminated first round. Payam would still be in it, but so we'd have to stay longer. So like we get eliminated, and then we just freaking go to Taco Bell, like anything like that was close, and like totally against like any wrestlers out there. Like you pretty much have to eat like drink water, and like that's it. You gotta like be so clean like when you go into these matches. we clearly didn't get that memo. But
My
man,
cousin a Navi, like he's actually wrestling. He had a tournament. I think like a week or two ago. He won first place, like in the college level. Like
yeah,
he's
dude.
he puts us to shame. Like we're
Oh my
none
God.
of us are even on his like status.
Navi, dude, that kid has gone swole, man. That's
no,
crazy.
he was huge. So
Yeah, I've been watching his stuff on
awesome.
Instagram. Yeah,
I know.
because
So at least someone in the family is doing something.
he was
because
our
he
last hope because there's no more left after that. It's gonna be your kids eventually, or my kids.
Nah,
My kids,
nah. I'm
my
not
kids
gonna
are
put
probably
them
gonna be in theater, so they're not gonna get in wrestling.
I'm not gonna put them through that. The eating habits and all the stuff you had to do,
Jeez.
so unhealthy, so bad. So no, I don't think I'm gonna have that.
Oh my God, you're right. I mean, wrestling requires like literally like a mental change.
Dedication to the
Yeah.
point of like it's not even healthy. It's bad.
I
But
just remember all the other athletes and for other sports couldn't hang with us. Like the conditioning was so
no,
hard.
it's crazy. No, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I remember like we made because I remember we'd start our practice running 20 laps around the school. Remember? We'd have to run 20 laps inside because it's Maryland. So it was usually like sub-zero weather. So, but but yeah, we would run the school inside 20 times. And by the end of the 20 times, like I was ready to like go home. But then like at that point, the wrestling practice started actually. Oh man, it was fun though, man. It was. Oh my God, we had a few good prospects, right? We had our 103 weight. He ended up being really good. We had Cade, like I think he like escaped Ireland or something, and he came to our school. He was like super good for some reason. Anyway. Then we did the Wendy's thing. We did the tournament with the Wendy's. That was hilarious.
Oh man, it was Salisbury, Maryland by the
Yeah.
water. That was one of the funniest tournaments ever.
It was more of a sitcom for us than like any. Our coaches were always disappointed. Like they were more disappointed they had to pay for the gas to get us there because it was like, and gas wasn't even that expensive back then.
I know, we were like, hey, it's a free trip for us, so we didn't care. We just had fun.
Okay, real quick on this wrestling story, and then we'll move on. But
yeah.
This Salisbury trip Payam's talking about, and you can chime in on this, but it was we freaking go to this thing, and then like everybody gets eliminated. Everyone loses. Like first round, I think we all lost except Cade, of course, because he was the best wrestler on our team. So we had to wait there because he had to wait a match, and the next day we had a match the next day. So that night, everybody else is like, well, fuck it. We don't have anything to worry about. Let's go to Wendy's. And so the Wendy's was right across our hotel, but then it was closed and they wouldn't allow us to get food. And we only had one car. I don't know whose car it was.
Because we tried walking through to the drive-thru and they're like, no, you have to be in a car. Oh man.
They said you can't walk through a drive-through, which makes sense now that I think about it. And then so we were like, oh, okay. So then we get the one car we had, and there's like 15 of us. We like fit inside the car, and we're like taking orders like from every corner of the car. Like the lady had no idea like where the sound is coming from, or what worse, like where did that head come from to make this order? Oh man, it was what fun times, dude, when we had no responsibilities.
Those were the days. Like we had nothing to worry about or do nothing. It was awesome.
I know. And then you had to mess around and become a professional doctor. How's that, by the way? So
everything else, man.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. I'm kidding. Like I'm blessed. We obviously both are a year older now, and you're going to do big things here coming up in May. You're going to be becoming a mister. What is the term for, because the miss becomes Mrs., but the mister just stays a mister. There's no love, no respect for the men. No, I'm kidding, man. I'm happy, and I can't wait to meet your better half, man. That's awesome.
I can't wait either, man. If you could come earlier, why not? Just come on.
Hey, man, I might come earlier. We'll see. We have to figure out.
Come in that area will be like we'll be only an hour away, and
You'll be yeah. So you'll be in West Virginia still, or you'll be in like
In the
Maryland?
panhandle of West Virginia. So it'll be like we'll be in Falling Waters, West Virginia. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
like it's maybe like I don't know, 10 minutes south of Hagerstown, Maryland, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I see,
yeah,
man.
so
Yeah. That's and then the hospital is super close to where you're gonna be living, huh?
it's gonna be like 15 minutes away from where we live. So yeah, it was man, the housing market's been ridiculous because we were trying to look to buy a place somewhere, and then that just everything gets bought up super fast.
Yeah.
So even trying to rent, like we were trying to rent from like 2.5 hours away from there. And anytime you put any applications or anything else, like everything was filled up. So we just drove one day, saw a place like this is a good place. We're just like we're not leaving until we have everything finished and everything else, and
Wow.
then we got it all booked. So it's yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's a good place,
And
but it's
that's the house you're moving to now.
yeah. So we're for the first year just gonna rent it out, kind of get the lay of the land, see how the areas are, where we like, what we don't like, and
Yeah.
have a better idea, and even the jobs, make sure it's a good job and everything before
Yeah, yeah.
settling down. So
Is the and you're still doing anesthesiology?
yep.
That's nice. And
Yeah.
what's your fiance do?
So she's an oncology pharmacist. So
Mm.
she did pharmacy school and then she did 2 years of residency for oncology. So like all the cancers and all that stuff, like I always make fun of her because she always says, "Oh, I love cancer." I'm like, that's not a cool thing to say to people. It's not
Yeah.
anything. So, but
I think the right way is I love learning about cancer, not I
yeah,
love
no,
cancer.
she knows her stuff, and like so any of that stuff she like I don't remember all that stuff anymore, but she's on top of it. So yeah, for her, she's kind of transitioning to that same medical center, and she's going to probably like for the first couple months she's going to work remotely from back for WVU's main center,
Yeah.
and then transition to this new hospital that I'll be at too. So she's got her stuff figured out too, and so yeah, it's just that's why I was one of the things. The timing was just right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Dude,
so
that's great, man. That's cool.
yeah,
Same field. You guys are gonna get to work together. That's I mean, it does
different buildings, but
yeah.
at least same hospital system and everything within the same area. It's just different buildings, which
No,
I
I
don't even know the cafeteria situation because sometimes we're able to get food in the same hospital right now.
oh yeah.
So I don't even know if that's gonna be a thing or not, but we'll
All
see.
right.
Um,
Well, if it's not the same cafeteria, then just leave and go somewhere else.
the deciding factor.
Imagine that's the deal breaker. Well, dude, man, that's cool. No, we gotta you so more about Angela because it's actually about her, not you. Uh, is so did you? I was reading your guys' website for
Yeah.
your wedding, and you guys knew each other from medical school. Is that right? Am I getting it right?
No, no,
Or
we actually didn't. No, we didn't know each other at all. We worked in the same place,
oh,
but
you worked in the same place. Okay, okay, okay.
that's where we worked in the same place. But no, we just actually met on a dating app.
Right,
So,
right.
it
Nice,
was
man.
actually huge if we were wanting to know which one it was, but it was Hinge, and it was, and both of us were on there for a super short amount of time because it was around the same time. So some of my friends came. We went on a ski trip, and then so one of my friends' wives basically just was saying, "No, just at least do it. I'll set up the profile. I'll do everything for you. Just at least
Yeah,
go on a dating app." Because me being as picky and annoying as I was, I'm like, "You're fine." I was on there only for like, I don't know, maybe a week or two, and then I got rid of all that stuff. But within that same time, she had just gone on and checked too. And so just kind of luck of the draw, it worked
dude.
out. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's a great story to tell your children.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's a new way now. It's
I
just what
know.
it is, man.
That's
And
cool. No,
especially, and the timing was just really off too, because at that time COVID hadn't hit, but like
oh,
after we started dating, like I think it was not even a month in or something, then COVID started coming about, and it just got very busy. So,
Geez,
so yeah,
yeah, I bet.
we're dating during all the COVID time and all that stuff. So it wasn't the easiest thing, but hey, it worked. So
Hey, man, yeah, no, that's you got you. If there's anyone who can deal with hardship, it's you and your family. You guys freaking like anything I thought was hard, and then I'd come over to your house, and then you guys are like, "Hey, we're just building a mountain here. Can you come help us?" I'm like, "What the hell, man? Like, I thought we're just gonna have like peanut butter and Nutella, like, and like, you guys are like creating a whole field in the back of your old house. It was crazy.
some
No,
of the best
so
was that.
I loved it, man. Those days were amazing. But it was fun times. Speaking of those fun times, and actually, I wanted to talk about. I don't know how much of it you remember, but our trip into Pakistan and some of the memories there we had, because like I know you were much younger than I was, so you were what? I think you were 5 or 6,
I
and
was
then
6, I think, yeah.
yeah, you were 6, and I was like 7 or 8. I just have like flashpoints that I remembered, like being on the trucks. I don't know if you remember that part. Like,
I remember a few things on that. I remember there was like juice boxes and all these snacks, so we're just like sitting there having
really?
those things.
Wait,
I
this
kind
is
of
on the
remember that
truck?
because I don't remember much else. That's mostly what I
Yeah,
remember.
I think you were. I mean, it's a good thing that you don't remember it
Yeah,
actually.
no, I was young enough not to remember most of that stuff.
I'll have to bring Puya on for this because Puya
No,
he
yeah,
was
we'll
old
definitely
enough
remember
for it.
that.
Yeah, I just remember it was just funny, man. Like that journey we had there, man. It was crazy. Like you guys, I think left like a week or like almost a month after we left. Like we got like in Pakistan, like we were there for 7 months, and that's lucky, right? Because most people
Yeah,
get stuck
yeah,
there for 3 years. By the way, the reason we had to go through a third country to come to the US was because of our religious background, and then we weren't able to get visas straight from Iran, which most of you already know why. But the so that's why we went to Pakistan. But we were lucky that we got to leave after 7 months, and I think for you guys it was like a month later, and we all ended up in Maryland, which was crazy. And
yeah.
you're obviously your aunt, my aunt, married my aunt. Your aunt married my aunt. No, your aunt married my uncle, and that's how like we're related through
Yeah.
that. And that's the guy who tricked us into becoming Washington fans, and now we're stuck with it.
Yeah.
You
It's
know
I
what's
mean,
fun? Yeah,
what
go ahead.
I mean, like at least they've been on a winning streak for a bit, so I'm happy about that. But
Yeah, I don't even know what to do right now. Like the Bulls are winning, the Ravens are winning, and Washington are winning, and I'm just like, I've never had this experience in my life. I don't.
even the Wizards, they're not even like I didn't expect them to do anything. Even they're doing good. So like, what's going on?
I think we both had to leave Maryland for them to start to start winning. No, it's good though. I'll take it, man. Hopefully we beat them Cowgirls too coming up.
Yeah,
So
that will be the statement win. If we get that, then we're like, okay, I'll have more confidence in them. But
yeah,
we'll see what
yeah,
happens. I don't even know what the team's name is going to be or any of that stuff. At this point,
crazy.
I'm like, keep it Washington football team. I'm even
Yeah,
okay with that. Just
I'm
let it.
yeah. We were doing better with that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I like Heineke though. I think he's gonna be he's dope. Like he has fire. Like the way he plays, I really dig
I
that.
don't think he's that great of a QB, but he wins. So it's like one of those things that like I always think of him as like a hybrid of uh, Tony Romo and Tim Tebow. Like Tebow, horrible, but somehow just they kept on winning.
Yeah,
And Romo, he just kind of he's about to get sacked, but somehow he always
yeah,
escaped and made a play, but he never won championships. So I'm hoping Heineke's different and actually wins stuff.
yeah.
But
No, what?
just
It's like Brett Favre to me. Like he
he's
kind of
had it a long while. So
yeah. He reminds me of Brett Favre too a little bit.
yeah, it just
Yeah,
somehow makes it happen.
he's just yeah. He's gritty. Like he's hungry. And that's something we were missing though as a culture on that team. We don't have enough hungry players. But we'll see, man. Hopefully.
I'm hoping. We'll see.
I
It'll be
guess
good.
yeah, man. So what I'm excited for you. You're going into a new place, much closer to family. You survived this damn pandemic. I mean, you're still happening, but
Um, yeah, our hospital like a couple days ago, I think it went to full capacity again. We're getting another spike up there. It's just but then again, West Virginia, it's like vaccination rate's only like 50%, so it's not that good for fully vaccinated. It's like 50. So it's yeah,
but
it's
even vaccinated people are getting it. It looks like
they are, but just much less numbers. And a lot of the data depends on where they received one vaccine or a full 2-course vaccine is one of the other things.
Yeah.
And the other part of it that, at least for our place, that we've kind of noticed is that are they like immunocompromised or are they on chemo or like different kind of therapies? Because then when you get the vaccine, it may not actually work for those. So it's all skewed. You got to actually look into the full numbers, but
yeah.
the simplest thing is like looking at the numbers is just if you're vaccinated, the odds of you actually like dying are extremely low. So
Yeah.
it's just not
It's
even.
yeah, man. I mean, it's obvious to go with the chances. And no, ladies and gentlemen, that are conspiracy theorists, they're not putting chip in you to be duplicated in the metaverse. Okay, you'll be all right.
It's one of the things that I never just kind of understood in that thing. I'm like, okay, like US, Russia, like those two never agree, China, like all the countries. But when every country and everyone in the world is like, okay, everyone should get vaccinated, where's the ploy? Where's the conspiracy? Why the hell is everyone going? Because it will be one side versus another, if anything like that. But so even that aspect doesn't even make sense to me. I'm just like, why did it become even politicized? Why is it even a thing? Like,
Yeah.
that's the frustrating part for, I guess, a lot of people in healthcare is just for like, why is it even a thing? It's
I
just,
think it's the human the range of human thinking, right? It's just it's you're either thinking or you're not thinking. It's like it's essentially we can obsess with an idea and then we can find evidence to back it, right? And even if the evidence is misleading, or even if the evidence is not uh the, there's not a good source. Like look at Aaron Rodgers, right? He just did what he did. I mean, he didn't even get in trouble for it, really.
lied. No, he pretty much lied. So
I
he's like,
know,
he's
but
like,
he's
are you?
getting advice. He's going to get advice from Joe Rogan, and that, that
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, nothing against Joe Rogan, but he's not a doctor. He's a podcaster
It,
like me.
it, it's what it is. It's I think part of the issue is that they don't see all the issues that come about with it because it's in own certain bubble. It's just I don't know. People just
Yeah,
get worn down over time. It's just because if you don't see it, you're like, oh, it might not be real. But like several months, not even maybe a month ago, he like one of the people who actually died from COVID was someone that actually Angela knew from when they were younger, and she was in her late 20s, no medical problems, and actually died from it.
dang.
So it's like yeah, I mean, for the grand majority of people, you probably won't die, but even having like effects and stuff from it, it could linger. There's still a lot unknown. So I don't know. It's just one of those things that's hard to comprehend and why risk it? And I don't know how
Yeah,
many
dude.
billions of doses have already been given throughout the world. We're like
I know.
those numbers versus the reactions and all that stuff is just so low. I just don't understand it. But
It's
yeah,
crazy because you know how my uncle in Iran, he
yeah,
wanted to get the vaccine. He couldn't get it in Iran.
yeah.
And um he eventually lost the battle to COVID, and God rest his soul. But it was like it's crazy to me. Like the vaccines are here in abundance, but people don't want to get it. Some people, and then there's vaccines, and then in Iran, people want to get it, but the government is turning it away and sending it to other countries because they have their own agenda, and they don't even give a shit about the human lives over there. So it's just it's crazy to me how it's the same result, but the narrative is completely opposite. But anyway, it's I think when we start thinking of it as it's not just about one individual, but rather it's about the entire human race, we can actually see it a little more clearly. and all the thank yous and appreciations to all the doctors like yourself,
It's
Angela.
like anything else. At the end of the day, that's the way. Like one of the things that I'm like, no, it's what you're doing. That's what you went into the field for, is to kind of take care of people. It's just the same thing over there. Like everyone has a role to play. Everyone does everything. Just like even like things that you wouldn't even think about. It's just like someone having to, let's say during the pandemic, everything's close by, but even going to like a mechanic or something, if your car broke down, for to get to your job, you need that. Every job or everything has its purpose and its need. So it's not like anything's more than the other. Now it's just it's as a whole society, if they're just working or doing things together, things move and things actually work. So I don't think it's anything. Yeah,
I
it's
told you guys. I told you he's such a sweetheart. He's
yeah.
literally put so many people to sleep in the hospital with
My
literally.
conversations are that good. So that's what I do.
I meant medically, not with his conversation. I'm saying he's such a sweetheart that even in the his brother, and many other people I know that are in the medical field, they've been going through a lot with this COVID pandemic, but we appreciate you, man. Just know that your efforts are not taken lightly. And what do you got planned for New Year's, man? It's coming up.
Moving. Moving.
That's right.
Honestly,
But
I
you're
don't
not going to
think
be with family for the countdown and all that?
I honestly don't even know. Like
Yeah.
just yeah, because
I
we're
feel you.
starting work on the 3rd, so we've got to have everything up and running by then.
Yikes.
So
Yikes. No,
I
yeah.
haven't even thought of that just quite yet, but I'm
It's
sure
cool.
when it gets closer we'll know, but not quite anything yet. How about you?
Yeah. So we're actually going to be in Ireland, dude.
Oh,
Yeah. So Shada has a half brother. I think I told you about it. Shada has a half brother in Ireland. And I've been trying to get him on this podcast to talk about his journey, because that story is insane. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna go see his wife and 3 kids and his adopted parents. We saw them when they came to DC before the pandemic with Dara. His name is Dara. And so yeah, so we'll be there for we'll be there for New Year's as well. So and then we're flying back on the
there.
1st.
So
Yeah, man. So in all to tell you guys the truth, we're recording this a few days before Christmas, but we were role playing. But it's cool because it's still gonna make sense. By the time this episode comes out, I will already be in Ireland, but obviously I'm not there now. But so yeah, I just this episode is out now, obviously, because you're listening to it. It is the 28th, and Payam has turned 1 year wiser, and we're 3 days away from New Year's. So it's great. Payam, I love you, man. I appreciate you coming on. It's 3 hours ahead over there. I want to let you get back to all the moving and packing that you're doing. Any last words you want to say before we send it off?
no, not really, man. Just it's great talking to you, and hopefully we see you more often, dude.
Dude, I want to come back, man. I want to come visit. I'm waiting till it warms up a little bit over there, but I'll be there. Definitely for your wedding.
I get that.
Payam, thank you. This is the season finale of season 2, episode 43, Fumble Podcast. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. You can catch the video of this episode on Spotify now as well, as you know. And you can follow me, Pej the Maniac, on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat and Twitter. All Pej the Maniac. My link tree is all up on the Instagram and TikTok page. Thank you all for visiting and watching, rather, and have a great New Year's. And I will see you guys for season 3's debut next week. Thank you, Payam.
Anytime, buddy. Say hi to everyone.